Hello collectors, welcome to this edition of Diecast Emporium. So this video is not going to be your typical model review. Instead, it's going to be a basic overview of kind of a collection of mine. As many of you know, one of the hobbies that I'm into is the 187 or HO scale model railroading hobby. And I do have a little layout here over at my place, and one of the highlights of it is a heavy equipment yard slash highway department. And it's something that I've worked on over the past 10 years or so, and a couple times a year I'll add a little bit to it. So what I've wanted to do is kind of just show you my highway department fleet vehicle collection, just because I think it's kind of cool, and I think you guys might get some enjoyment out of it. So basically what it comprises of is it has a highway department yard building, and of course the yard has this layout of vehicles and equipment kind of thing. So I figured I would show you all these trucks. Predominantly they're orange in color, just to kind of go with that theme. And so the first one that we'll take a look at here, this is a River Point Ford. By the way, all these are in 1:87 scale, obviously. And I figured I'd go over a brief, we'll take a look at each of these very, very briefly. And I'll try and give you a little bit of information and a little tidbit about each one of these. So like I said, this is a River Point Ford. River Point is a company that makes a few different models, and they make a ton of different variations of Ford trucks. This one in particular, obviously, is a F-Series Super Duty. They make this truck, they make a bucket truck, they make a dually truck, they make a bunch of different things. You can check them out on the internet. I primarily use this one for displays of this being like a pilot truck or an escort vehicle. But what's cool is the tailgate goes down, and it's pretty detailed for it being 187 scale. I added the oversized load sticker, but it's kind of a nice truck. So that's the first one in the collection. Next, we'll take a look at a series of dump trucks. So this one and the next few that we'll look at for the foreseeable future are made by Scene Master, and this is an international. So this is outfitted with a coal body. So this is offered, actually, the stock version that you would get from like your hobby store or off the internet comes with a gray cab, but I swapped it out, obviously, with an orange, so it fits in my fleet. And did a wheel swap on it as well. So that is that one. Next, I have a GMC dump truck. I think this is the GMC, what is it, Top Kick, I think it's called. I really enjoy these trucks. They're not too terribly expensive. I think they retail for, somewhere between $10 to $12. And you can find them at most hobby and train stores. And if you don't like the GMC one, here's a International, and there's two different kinds of Internationals. That one is an original Boley, which is the company that Scene Master bought when Boley went defunct. And here is the one that you can get now by Scene Master, with an updated International style cab and a gray bed. That one's stock. I didn't do anything to it. That's straight from off the pegs, as they say. But the two kind of look really nice together. Diecast cab, rubber tires, plastic dump body. These make great customs. You can do a lot with these trucks without spending a whole lot of money. So those are those two. The next is a Matchbox real working rig. This is an Oshkosh truck. This comes with a yellow snow plow, which I have off of it. Again, this is a great vehicle for customization. It is very close to 187 scale. You can do great wheel swaps with this. You can do custom paint jobs with this. You can take the dump body off of this and put it on more high dollar 187 scale trucks. I just kind of left mine as is for the time being. I probably will do more with this eventually down the line to bring it up to snuff, if you will. but for now it looks fine. And the front does flip down for when you have the plow in action. It's a yellow plastic plow. Alright, next is another straight out of the package Scene Master casting. It's a single axle dump, International. Again, all of these trucks come in so many different colors and cab variations and dump body variations. Many of them come with the International logo, without the International logo. Just depends. Here are two plows that I have. Two different style plow trucks and plow bodies. The salter actually can come out of that truck and the plow can come off. So if you just wanted to have it as a dump truck during the winter off season, you can completely do that. Whereas the other is more of a purpose-built salt and spreader truck on the GMC. But for example, if you just wanted this truck to be a dump truck within, 10 seconds or less, you could have this as just a dump truck. So, really kind of cool that they did that. And again, the GMC is more of a purpose-built salter and plow body. And it does, again, just like the other one, it does come with a plow that you can take off or put on. This truck is older than I am, believe it or not. This is a Matchbox truck from the late 80s that I have had as a child when I got it in the early 90s. And I'm still working on this piece. It's nowhere near done. I drilled it out, put some Scene Master wheels on this GMC, obviously repainted it, which I'm not done painting. Obviously the paintwork is nowhere near done on this thing. But I added some more realistic style wheels to it. I have to, obviously you can tell the paint is nowhere near done on this. But I really like the look of this old style Chevy / GMC truck. I think this is actually a Chevy. But Matchbox made both GMC and Chevy versions of this truck back in the day. But I really like the look of these old style plow and salter trucks. And that's eventually what this will be once it's done. So there's that one. And obviously, you can see that this is not a finished model as the wheel comes off. And Matchbox claims that this is actually 1:83 scale. So again, pretty close. Next is another not so complete model yet. This is just a standard box / equipment truck that I am working on. I believe the box on this was like originally white or something, and the cab was white with the International logo on it. So it still needs some painting and finishing to do on this. Haven't really decided if I'm going to add like a company logo to the box or just leave it gray. Also haven't really decided if I'm going to do anything with like this part of the chassis. Like I might remove that part, I don't know. So there's a lot of stuff that's kind of work in progress. This is one of my favorites. Another almost finished, but not quite. So this is a attenuator truck, custom attenuator truck. It started as a Scene Master, just stake bed truck. And the attenuator kit is off of the internet. It's off of one of those 3D printing sites that you can get. I added the aero board and the cushion at the back, which I still need to finish painting and add some chevron graphics to, among some other things. I'm also going to add some pylons and stuff in the back of the stake bed. Remove the International logo from the doors, add some beacon lights to the truck, and add some additional details to the front bumper of the truck as well. But I started working on this last year, way before Matchbox announced that they were doing a attenuator truck. Plus, that's way out of scale anyway, but I really like the way that this turned out, and I still have a lot of work left to do on it. But this looks great if you're doing any kind of construction on a layout, so I would highly recommend picking up this kit. It's really, really cheap. Just Google search like attenuator kit 187 scale. And, yeah. So next we have a roll-off truck. This is by Scene Master as well. And the stock one, I believe, is a purple roll-off container and a red cab. So, but as with all these trucks, I can't mention it enough, it's super easy to do chassis, wheel, and cab swap. Because everything's just, you know, screw and play, basically. Just unscrew the cab and unscrew the chassis and, you know, plug in whatever color combos you want. But it's really cool because it's functional, everything rolls off, you can do whatever you want to do. The only thing that doesn't work is the stabilizers, but if you really wanted to make that work, you could. Next are two different tandem axle flatbeds. One's an International 7600, one's a GMC. One of these, I believe, is a Boley from way back in the day, like 15 years ago, and one's a one's a new Scene Master. So pretty generic, but again, these add a lot of detail to any layout. The only thing I would caution you about getting any of the GMCs, and you can really see it on this one, is the mirrors always come screwed up. It doesn't matter like what color you get or what truck you get, the mirrors always come angled up like that. Every single GMC truck I've ever gotten, the mirrors have never been straightened. So something easy to fix, but just an annoyance that really shouldn't have to worry about, but it is what it is. So here's another Frankenstein truck. This started out as, I believe the cab was, I gotta fix that sticker, or decal. I believe the cab was a off-brand Volvo cab, and the water tanker on the back was like a Hot Wheels gasoline truck. The rear wheels were from Matchbox Premier Rig, and the front drive wheel, or the front steer wheels, were from Scene Master, I think. So I added like a proper Volvo grill to it, obviously the water stickers and stuff. I'm still deciding how far I'm going to go with this. Like if I'm going to actually add a spray bar to the rear, or maybe a nozzle up on top. I'm definitely going to do some more work on the mirrors. But granted, this stuff is 187 scale, so any detail work you do is tiny. So here is an International cement mixer, also by Scene Master. I love these because the axle flips up and down, and even this little stair goes down. It folds up and down. So the chute also moves left to right. Pretty solid little cement mixer. No, they're not as great as the Athearn cement mixers. Like if you manage to get your hands on a Mac Athearn cement mixer, you got yourself a nice piece there, but this does the job just fine for me. Alright, next is garbage truck. The can in the back kind of goes up and down, which is cool. And it also, like, if you were to move the handle here, that makes the can go up and down. These are really easy to get. They make these in a bunch of different colors as well. I think the most popular color is white because a lot of people do waste management customs for these. So this is a tractor I have. This is an old Boley Ford. This is not one of my favorites, just because it's pretty plain, honestly. And they never did any mirrors with these either, which was, I found, as an annoyance. But the paint was solid on it, and there also isn't a blue oval or anything. Which, again, you could add. But it is what it is. This is one of the newer stock pieces that I have. This is a Walther Scene Master's cherry picker, bucket truck, whatever you want to call it. Good deal of functionality with these, especially in the cherry picker mechanism. So these make for some pretty interesting poses. I eventually want to get rid of that yellow bucket cherry picker and either put a gray one on or a white one or something more suitable to the fleet colors, because I just think the yellow kind of looks terrible. So the next one I have is another Frankenstein truck that's not done. But this was one of the first customs I did when I was a little bit younger. This is a Matchbox Real Working Rigs vac truck custom. So basically I drilled out the base and I added some more realistic wheels to it. I added some sticker decals and painted the hose to the front and added the arrow sticker to the back as well. A couple other subtle detail changes on it because I wanted to make it a little bit more realistic. Now that I'm older, and I won't say I'm the best customizer in the world because I'm not. I'm nowhere near close at all. I would rate myself probably as a C- at best. But I definitely could do a better job on this, so I'm probably going to end up completely redoing this. And instead of adding stickers, adding decals, and definitely fixing up the paintwork and stuff. But it still makes a really cool model. And definitely if you have like sewers and stuff on your train layout, you can have one of these clearing out your sewers. Relatively easy to get on eBay. And even if you just do a wheel swap on these Matchbox trucks, it makes them look so much better. Here is a Scene Master International tandem axle stake bed truck. Pretty generic, pretty simplistic. I think this one's pretty stock too. I don't think I did anything to this. I don't think I changed the cab or did literally anything to this. So there's that one. Alright, so now we'll start getting into some of the tractor trailer stuff that I have. What do I want to do first here? I don't know if both of these are going to fit on the frame, but we'll try and do them together. So the tractor is, and I usually don't post these together because, to be honest with you, the fifth wheel is not big enough for the kingpin on this trailer, but just for shiggles and for time constraints, I'm posing these two together. This Mack is a Herpa model. The trailer is from a Masto set way back in the day that I added Ertl wheels to. Yeah, because Ertl actually, back in the late 90s, they actually came out with a couple 187 scale trailers that were pretty nice. So those are Ertl wheels to it. I repainted it, obviously, and came out with a semi-decent bottom dump trailer. And that back truck looks pretty good. So there's that one. Here is one of the aforementioned Ertl trailers. This is just repainted, just to kind of give you an indication. This is, I don't remember who made this. Atlas, maybe? I don't know. This is from the mid-90s. This is, I think this is Atlas. That's what I'm going to call it. Another Ford. I always liked the look of these trucks, except for the fact that, again, they had no mirrors. So, kind of pretty plain, but a nice tractor nonetheless. Here is a Freightliner by Herpa and a trailer by, I don't know who the trailer's by. I don't remember. Promotex maybe. This drop deck trailer. But they line this pairing works well, and it fits in the fifth wheel just fine. So with these Herpa trucks, when you get them, if you've never had one before, you actually have to put the mirrors on, the horns on. If they have a hood ornament, you got to put all those on, which is no big deal. But just wanted to make that note. Personally, it's not a big deal. So there's what that one looks like. Next, we have another Promotex trailer. This is a dump trailer. This is one of my very first, I'll say in quotations, custom trucks that I ever did. It's not really a custom, it's a modified truck. So that's a Matchbox Premier truck. And it originally had, what did it have on it? It originally had U-Haul, I believe, decals on it. And I was able to take those decals off without ruining the paint too badly. And the orange was already a perfect match for the orange fleet. So, and it already had those quote-unquote realistic wheels and tires on it, so I just kind of left it as is. And to this day, it remains one of my favorite tractors. Another one of the trucks I've had since childhood that I now still own and keep as an adult. Alright, down to the last few. Here we have a International Walther Scene Master tandem axle tractor, and we have a spread axle flatbed trailer by Tonkin, I believe. Another pairing that goes well together. I actually have two different, and I'll put them up at the same time. Two different International tractors, an older and a newer style. Both of these are from Walther Scene Masters. One's just older, one's newer. So depending on what era or time period your train layout is, you can get the appropriate truck. Alright, and last but not least, this is a, I don't know if this whole thing will fit on here, hopefully it will. This is a Tonkin lowboy set. That Peterbilt heavy haul tractor and that large lowboy. So there you go, guys. That is my collection of orange 187 scale trucks and vehicles that I have on my highway department layout. Certainly a pretty wide variety of vehicles, and many of them, as you have clearly seen, are still a work in progress, and I continue to add to it annually. So if you guys have any comments or questions or things that you may have seen, or even better yet, if you know of maybe something that's out there that you would like to see in this collection, please feel free to leave your suggestions in the comments below. Until next time, take care, be safe, and we will see you in the next video.